did it. Hey guys, I have another manga comic review. Today I'm gonna be talking about Hen. So after completing Gantz, my favorite manga, I decided to familiarize myself with more of Hiroya Oku's work. After all, Gantz is pretty much my favorite manga, so I was at least, felt like I should be somewhat interested in his other material. So I started reading Hen, which is one of his first popular works. I was quite surprised how different it was than Gantz. Gantz, in case you aren't familiar, is a horror sci-fi action drama, and the scale of Gantz is huge. We're dealing with worldwide problems, right? In the case of Hen, you see a slower paced slice of life drama with comedic elements. The setting is almost entirely limited to a high school, and the size and scope of the story is decidedly narrower. That being said, I feel the story has a lot of strengths for a work of its kind, and I also feel like it shows a lot of the artist's, characteristics, even if it is in a much different setting. Hen is a series that was first serialized. Hen is a series that was first serialized in Weekly Young Jump. The original run lasted from 1988 to 1992, so this series actually predates my birth. Explaining this serialization gets a bit more complicated, as Hen actually has two serializations with different stories. Both series share characters and settings, so it is a bit confusing. The second serialization ran from 1992 through 1997. This review will focus on the second serialization, as I could not find the original in any format in English. The original Hen series is about an attractive male high school student who finds himself falling in love with another man, although he doesn't feel he's gay. The second Hen series, which is very similar, is a story of an attractive high school girl who finds herself falling in love with another girl. So, first section is going to be presentation, and I'm going to give this a 3 out of 10. Hen has a lot of strengths. The artwork is not one of them. Hiroya Oku has some of the most amazing looking has some of the best looking manga in Gantz and Inuyashiki, but in this manga, like many works around this time, it's extremely lacking in details. The art style is extremely simplistic. There are a lot of blank panels, and the characters' designs are much more simplistic than his modern works. It took me a few issues to get used to the art style, but on a positive note, the style is very distinctive. I think the art can at some points kind of hamper the series, though, because the lack of details of the characters make a lot of characters who aren't supposed to look similar, and at certain times it can be hard to tell who the character is until they're talking and you get some more context clues. So that definitely was not the best. The next section I'm going to talk about is characters, and for this I'm going to give this story pretty much a 10 out of 10. To be honest, Hiroya does characters well. In every one of his series that I've read, he makes some of the most realistic characters I've ever seen. All of his characters are lush and complex. Hiroya is able to show the contrast between multiple characters without sacrificing the individuality of the characters, and at the same time let them be believable. The characters function in the larger message of the story without the characters feeling like plot devices. Beyond this, the characters are really unique. The main protagonist often does mean things to other people around her. She uses her beauty to manipulate people often, and it's awesome to see a protagonist doing something that might alienate them from the audience. To me, too often we see two protagonists who are too binary. They're either too good or irrationally evil. Letting the character be who they are, um, and really find their own way, feels really good and refreshing, and it's what makes the characters in the series really great to read and enjoy. Um, for the plot and the story, okay, my next section is gonna be plot and story. Being completely honest, the plot of Gantz was terrible. It was complete shit, and it held the series back from being one of the best manga ever. Hen, thankfully, does not have this problem. Hen's plot works for what it is. What makes the plot not perfect is its simplicity. You're just on the ride for the high school years of these few characters. The story follows suit. Once you get the premise of the story, a popular, attractive youth falls in love with a member of the same sex. They don't really extend the story to span too far beyond that. Not that the series doesn't deal with some greater themes, such as leaving your passion for stability, but it doesn't change the fact that the story is in itself incredibly simplistic. So as far as my overall score, I'm gonna give this an 8 out of 10. There are a few more positive aspects of the manga that are worth mentioning. The humor in this manga is quite excellent. There are a lot of strange and awkward situations that really show the dimensions of the characters and the issues they face chasing their love. All of this was navigated excellently. I will say the chapter 65 and 66 were a bit strange, but from what I could gather, there were some dynamics that didn't translate well into the manga. But otherwise, I felt like the story went over really well and was a success and was funny where it was trying to be funny and was, serious when it needed to be serious. But I would love to hear your thoughts on the series. Let me know in the comments, and I will do my best to get back to you. For more, check out the For more manga and comic reviews, check out the links to Youauthorus.com and let us know. Thank you, and I'll see you guys in space.